MINDBENDER Mental Performance Podcast.
Episode 163, Part 3, book breakdown of Chapter 3 from The Mental Keys to Hitting by the great H.A. Dorfman, Harvey Dorfman. Chapter 3, Setting Your Goals versus Living Other People's Expectations. The MINDBENDER Mental Performance Podcast is back, baby! The only podcast that former Licey baseball great Enrique Byron Esses makes players fuerte en la cabeza. El lugar es aquí, el momento es ahora. Wherever you are, the place is here, and the time is now. We take it from the clouds to the dirt, one episode at a time. It's all about showing up, being present over perfect, and knocking down mental and emotional barriers that get in the way of consistent and confident performance. Let's fucking get right to it. The blunt truth. You're never going to play this game free from pressure. That's a fantasy. But you can decide whose pressure you carry, yours or theirs. You can decide that pressure is a privilege. You can decide that pressure makes diamonds, and once it's go time, you're already the diamond. Time to shine. You've gone through the pressure. You look at pressure as a wave, and you ride that barrel, or you get slammed on the reef based on, the wave you take and how you ride it. And you better believe that difference can wreck or rescue your career. So this chapter from The Mental Keys to Hitting by Harvey Dorfman, if you don't have it, get it, right? And if you don't have something to write with, get something, because this isn't designed to be motivational. It's not designed to be temporary. This is designed to be a lifetime, long-term philosophy to give you the best chance of success on winning pitches. Ownership of your purpose, ownership of your goals, ownership of your process, because if you don't own that shit, somebody else will. So, the secret of success is constancy of purpose by Benjamin Disraeli. It says that quote at the beginning of the chapter. Have a purpose and be consistent every day at attacking that purpose. Every player I've ever coached who's made it, who's actually reached the peak of their ability, has had goals. But not just any goals, not result goals, because results and outcomes are out of our control. Not, I want to hit 320 or make varsity or go D1. Those are wishes dressed up as plans. They're outcomes you can't control, largely. A player can't control where the ball goes after contact. He can't control a coach's opinion. He can't control what other people say, think, or do. He can't control how many duck, fart, snot shot singles fall in or how many líneas get caught. He can only control how he shows up pitch to pitch, mentally and physically. That's why behavior goals are critical. Behavior goals like see the ball. Behavior goals like stay within yourself and know yourself to stay within yourself. Or as the Buddhists say, get to know yourself to forget yourself. But stick to your plan. Have a plan and stick to it. Make an adjustment and play pitch to pitch. These are goals you can own, right? You can own behavior goals. You can own your preparation. You can own your process. You can own your attitude, appearance, preparation, perspective, performance, how you perform, not the results of energy, effort, emotions. You can control getting big when you cross the lines. Are you confusing hope with a plan? Are you hoping, not hunting? I want to go D1, but my goal is to get in the box today and hunt my zone with intent. The offer will come when it comes. Right? There's a legendary story in this chapter about Ray Toma. He's a AA player out in Oakland when the Bash brothers were there, when Canseco was hitting pumps and taking all the vitamins in Mexico. He was smoking ball after ball, linea after linea, quality hard contact after quality hard contact, but couldn't buy a hit. He was 0 for 12, and Dorfman kept telling him, great approach, Ray, good at bat, that's a quab, right? And on the 12th out in a row, Ray walks over to Dorfman and raises his hands to tell him to shut up, right? The whole dugout starts laughing, even Ray, because the truth is, Harvey was laughing too, because the truth is, he was doing everything right, mentally and mechanically, but he was being punished by baseball, by the baseball guys. That happens, man. Maybe not punished, but maybe there was a lesson to be learned there, right? That he needed to get out of results-based thinking and get into execution and competing pitch-to-pitch based thinking. That's where most hitters snap. They abandon the approach. They start chasing hits. They start to try to get 4 hits in one at bat. They lose trust, and that's when the slump really begins. And the takeaway is that great behavior doesn't guarantee success, but it sure as hell stacks the deck in your favor. And chasing results guarantees you'll fall apart. Ride the roller coaster. And you want to go to the ballpark, not the amusement park. Do you have the courage to trust your process through an 0 for 12? Right? I want results, but I'm not changing shit. My process, my at-bat routine, how I walk up to home plate, I'm feeling here in the dirt. I'm taking this big, deep breath on the sweet spot of the barrel, aggressive mindset on the sweet spot. I'll die on this hill before I panic and press, right? Same thing happened with Jeff Conine when he was with the Marlins back in the day. He barreled 3 balls with nothing to show for it. Then he finally gets a little flare snot shot, like a little duck fart off to the right side. And Dorfman looks at him deadpan and says, much better, right? And that's the joke. Results lie. Behavior, actions, preparation, process tells the truth, right? Results don't lie, but they don't tell the whole story sometimes, yeah? So bad behavior sometimes gets rewarded. Good behavior sometimes gets punished. But in the long run, behavior wins. I shouldn't even say punished. Maybe you get the privilege to learn from that. You're not your batting average, right? Control the controllables. We say it all the time. You must be in control of yourself before you can control your performance. And you can't control outcomes, but you sure as hell can control your thoughts and behaviors and the process on what you think before and during your swing. You can control that. You choose how to think. You choose how to respond to frustration and turn that frustration into fascination. Fascination about getting better. Fascination about the process. Fascination about getting big and hunting pitches. You choose how to respond to fear and turn that fear into fuel and turn that failure into feedback. You choose. Monitor your thoughts. Know what you're thinking before you step in the box. Have a plan. Right? Filter every emotion through your commitment to your process, because if you let emotion run the show, you'll act out of feelings, not thinking. And feelings lie more than the box scores do sometimes, right? Kid the other day, I was 0 for 4. He had 4 walks. You were 4 for 4 quabs, kid. Good approach. Keep going. Do not conform to the pattern of the world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. That's in Romans 12:2. And the greatest coaching manual of all time, the Bible. What thoughts need to die today so a better behavior can live? Right? You've been swinging scared. That thought dies today. You're hunting and attacking pitches in the zone. So tune out and toughen up, dudes. A lot of players don't just play for themselves. They're playing to please the world. They're playing to please their parents in the stands, their teammates chirping, their girlfriend watching, coaches breathing down their neck, perfect game rankings and what they're going to say on the Snappy and the Gram. Fuck that. You don't owe your talent to anyone. You don't need to carry the burden of anyone's opinion. Your opinion of yourself comes from the inside out. There's only one person that should be judging you, right? Tell you what, don't consent to that. You don't consent to anybody else's expectation. You've got to walk through the door that leads to your own understanding, not into the room full of people who want to be gratified by your results. Are you competing for love? Or are you playing for freedom? Right? You've been playing to earn approval? That ends today. You play to honor the gifts that God gave to you and that you're now bringing forth through your preparation. Because the preparation, that's in the separation. And the separation, that's in the preparation. Never apologize for your performance. You're going to struggle. There's going to be those times. That's part of the game. And when you do, the question becomes, hey, what's wrong with you? Why aren't you hitting? You know what your answer should be? No apologies. No fucking excuses. Just keep showing up and doing the work. I'm working on it. If you feel like saying anything at all, I'm working on it every day and every way. I'm getting better and better. Amen. Your job is to execute actionable behavior goals, not to explain your slump to Aunt Becky over at the family BBQ. So, set behavior goals that you can control. and then stand guard at the door of your mind. Monitor your thoughts. Don't let feelings hijack your at-bats, man. Feel ain't real anymore. Once you got the uniform on, act differently than you feel. Get big and step in to the moment. Step into the present moment. When you put your helmet on, put your helmet on. When you put your batting gloves on, put your batting gloves on. When you step into your box to take possession of your box, and you get that breath on the sweet spot of the barrel, aggressive, under control, take the breath on the sweet spot of the barrel. Tune out other people's expectations and take ownership of your goals, your routine, your process. Your mission is your business. Their opinions, they are not. Okay? Fans chirp and cheer and talk shit. Players play. So go out and play. Para mis jugadores latinas, más línea, más vida. Hasta la próxima, recuerda. Si quieres ser un jugador disciplinado, comprometido y preparado en el futuro, empiezas esa mierda hoy. Se necesita lo que se necesita y lo mejor está por venir. Until next time, remember, if you want to be a disciplined, committed, confident, and prepared ball player in the future, you start that shit today. It takes what it takes. And you guys already know the best is yet to come.
That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Check out Deuces Wild tonight on nofilter.net.